Hello people of the internet. We had a series on this channel where we were working on running the fedora-review tool on every commit in the Fedora dist-git. Basically that would mean whenever there is any change to any package, the fedora-review tool would be run on that. The idea, of course, was to initially have this opt-in, non-blocking, whatever, to bother as few people as possible with this, and only the ones that are actually interested in this. But once the idea is polished and once the implementation is polished, my big picture goal is to eventually have this for every package in Fedora, not opt-in. So our initial implementation that we did on this channel was implementing this as a Forgeo action, since the Fedora dist-git is moving to Forgeo. And we can see there was this action, right? This is the action. What it does is here. So action, this action. So we have some YAML code here. It's not too long, and it basically install dependencies, creates some repository. Then it copies a spec file there, and then it builds a package from that spec file. So this, of course, is just for a proof of concept. Eventually, we would download already built package from either Koji or Copper or whatever. So, but at this point it was easiest for us to build the package, since it was a small package that we used for testing. And then it runs the fedora-review tool, and then it counts the failures. And you can see the must items mentioned here. That's because fedora-review has checks in many categories. Not that many, but multiple categories. There is must, there is should, and there is optional. And I decided to start with only must, because that's the must is must. Yeah, you need to adhere to those, otherwise the package is not valid. So there is no question. There could be some exceptions to that rule, to the must items, but they need to be properly documented with the tickets that have the explanation and so on. So most of the packages most of the packages must adhere to all of the must items, right? So we counted the must failures. And then, if there are failures, we printed what checks failed and returned the final failure, which would be yeah, this fails if there are failed checks. So this is not rocket science. It's 70 lines of code, 70 lines of YAML, actually. So this is an action, right? In Forgeo. Then we created example package that uses that action. So we wanted to do the hello package, but there was some problems with ftp.gnu.org at that time. I bet it was because some AI crawlers. So we used my light package as an example, but that doesn't really matter. So imagine this is a repository that is not on GitHub, but that is in the Fedora dist-git. It has a spec file the repositories in Fedora dist-git also have the sources file and so on, but we can ignore that for this example. We have the spec file, and basically what we do here, we have a GitHub workflows directory which has this one review YAML. And what it does is very simple. It has some boilerplate, and it runs the action that we have seen previously. So from frostix / this repository, it uses this action on this spec file. So very easy, right? We proposed that in Fedora discussion article, and the most common topic, excuse me, I'm sorry, and the most common comment or most common feedback on the discussion, but also in private, was, hey, let's use Packit and Testing Farm, which, if you remember, we also discussed during when we implemented this and on the video. So yeah, I agree with that idea. The thing is, I thought maybe it will be complicated, and like the proof of concept using GitHub Action was quite simple. And I also wanted to play with the 4geo actions a little. Anyway, we had several meetings about this, and we tried to move this effort forward. So what is the plan for us now is take the action and rewrite it as a plan for Testing Farm. And Christian Lee is working on working on a feature that will simplify the integration of Testing Farm plans, tests, checks, whatever is the terminology, into Packit. So if we count on this feature, then basically we don't have to do any Packit changes ourselves. We only need to write the plan for Testing Farm, and it will be like, what is the word? I'm blanking on the word, but it will be basically done for us for free to have it in Packit. So let's take a look at the TMT plans. My music also stopped, so let me switch something. Okay, cool. This is the ticket that we are trying to do, basically. Laura pointed to some RPM inspect plan, but Christian says a better reference would be RPM length or RPM depth check. So we are talking about this repository, Packit TMT plans. I already cloned it to my computer, and the RPM length in it. So if I jump here, the reason why I cloned it beforehand is I wanted to figure out how to run the tests so that we don't get stuck on that for an hour, and it is not a waste of all of our time. So basically, you can see we are at TMT plans directory. If I less it, it's this one, right? You can see tests plans there. Yeah, this is the one. So sorry, this is the one. So this is how we can run the RPM lint plan that was suggested by Christian Lee. So we can run it. It looks like this, and it takes some time, but it's not that slow. I have no idea what it does actually, but we should have looked at it as a reference. So we will look at it together, and the idea is, if we understand what it is doing, is to write another plan like this called fedora-review, and basically do the same kind of stuff that RPM lint does, but instead of running RPM lint, run fedora-review, right? So let's take a look at, yeah, this already finished and passed, see? So that's good. And let's take a look at what the hell is going on here. So let me rotate this so you can see it on the left side and not covered by my face. We are in the TMT plans, tests, RPM lint. And there is some main. So if I open the command that I'm running, we're running plans, name RPM lint. This is tests RPM lint. So maybe we are at the incorrect location. Maybe I actually wanted this one, right? Can we do YAML mode in this? I guess we can. So we run RPM lint on all RPMs and spec file. I have no idea what RPMs they are talking about. That is my main question. Like, where are the RPMs and the spec file this uses to test? Are there any committed into this repository? Are they downloaded during the time of running? I have no idea. So basically, this is very simple. By the way, I have never done anything with Testing Farm yet, so I have no clue. I know that TMT command exists. We have run it. That's all I know about it. I have no idea what TMT stands for. Yeah, so we are just exploring this together for the first time. I have no previous knowledge about any of this. But this looks simple, like we have descriptions and provision. Basically, we want to run it in a container, so okay. And I guess what we want to run? We want to, no idea, FMF is a command that I know of, but no idea what is the difference between TMT and FMF, whatever. It runs tests RPM lint. So I guess we can go into it right now. That would be TMT plans, tests, RPM lint. We were here a second ago. Let's enable YAML again. And if we take a look at RPM lint plan, it only has the main and readme. So it has some options, but we can maybe read the description. Maybe it will be helpful. So this plan simply runs RPM lint against the RPMs and spec files provided. So we somehow provide them. For specific details, see run RPM lint wrapper file. Depending on the calling environment, the inputs of this plan are provided automatically. Otherwise, see options for the expected control parameters. So we can take a look at this script. And it seems that in some cases, the inputs are automatically provided. That would be good because we could do the same for the fedora-review, right? So maybe let's look for the run RPM length here. Is it long? 50 lines, cool. So it takes RC file, TOML file, spec file, and RPM files. Okay, so this script takes stuff and yeah, takes stuff here, whatever, appends them here, and running RPM length. So this is very, very simple. Important thing would be who actually calls this. Can we take a look? Run RPM length. Oh, it is called here. But let's grab it. Let's grab it. Run RPM length. Maybe it is run for multiple places. Git grab. No, readme and the main FMF. So this one. Okay, so how many files do we have here? Packit TOML, not important at the moment, I think. Run RPM length, we have seen that one. Copper prepare, dist-git prepare, and main FMF. So I suppose the main FMF will call all these three scripts for some reason. And yeah, the main FMF is the entry point. So let's read it from the top. I have no clue what it inherits, but whatever. Prepare dist-git. Prepare with dist-git environment. Enable duration order. Okay, these are requirements. Test. Now, I kind of think they are abusing the test right now. Like, I think this is not a test actually. I think this is just run this code to prepare for something. But maybe they don't have any generic like run and therefore they run it as a test. I'm not sure, but yeah, they run the prepare dist-git script. For now, this is only available for dist-git commits. Yeah, there is some condition. I have no idea if this is what we are running locally or not. Can we see? Provision, prepare, execute, report. Install required packages. I think actually we only should see it in execute, right? This is not, or is this I don't know. I don't know in which section we should see it. If we search for prepare with, no, we don't have any matches on the summary, for example. Okay. Anyway, prepare with copper environment, basically the same, just different requirements and running a different script. When from Packit. Okay. I hope we don't need to copy these, but this is the important one, I guess. So the same kind of boilerplate. Description requires having some environment variables predefined. See documentation. Well, are they defined? They need, like they need to be defined somehow, because I'm running this and they exist probably. We require these two files, these two packages, that makes sense, and we are running the RPM lint here. The thing is, on what RPMs? I'm still confused by this. There are no files here, right? What if we git grep RPM? What if we git grep dot RPM? And I think we need to do some, oops. We need to do something like this, right? And maybe escape it. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So are there any files in this? I have no idea how they would get there, but good. That would be concerning, to say at least. Copper prepare. Now, run RPM lint. The RPM files. Oh, they are in. Okay, so they could be passed, but the default is this one. So do we somewhere define this environment variable? Git grep this. It's in README. Wait. What the hell is it? OS environment variable. Sure. Let's see. Here is environment get, right? This is the one that we looked at. But copper prepare, this git prepare. We need to see the copper prepare. So get the data from copper. For now, assume testing farm environment with args and file open for appending s file args is n file. Oh, it's n file. So we have n file. Okay. I was confused how this can create environment variable. It doesn't. It appends to an n file. So find grep env. We don't have it. That's weird. Find. Okay, so I would like to know what n file is. Dash n file. This needs to be passed somewhere, and there is default. Okay, this is getting a bit complicated. Git grep. So let's take a look for n file. We need to escape everything, of course, again. We don't need to escape this one probably, but we can. So yeah, the option is available, but the option is not used. So we probably have this somewhere. So can we print this environment? Okay, this is empty. Defaults to .env. Now, what is it that I wanted to do? I wanted to, yeah, grab this, git grep. So we are getting this value on 2 places but not setting it anywhere, which means there should be some default .nth that somebody needs to create, but it is appending to it. So is it not like in this very place, but rather is this copied to some directory and worked from there? I don't know. What I want to do is, can we put a debugger here and then run the test again? This one. So either this will get stuck, or we will get a debugger, or it will trace back. 3 options. And funnily enough, it is probably choosing a 4th one, which is like completely ignoring me. Yeah. Yeah, this was unexpected. Did we even run the copper prepare? I don't know. Maybe let's put a debugger into the RPM lint. So just before running the RPM lint, but right after printing the output, so we'll clearly see where this should happen, where the debugger should happen. I don't know if it will be helpful for us to have the debugger there. It is better than nothing, so let's hope. It failed. It failed. So we don't have interactivity there. That sucks. Did we get the output of running RPM lint somewhere? No. Okay, that sucks too. So are we getting the logs into something? Can we see what is here? Log txt. Let's open this in Vim. Okay, this is long. This 2000 lines. I don't want to go through all of it. If we yeah, breakpoint here. So we can see it happened. Okay. So this is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. So what can we do? What can we do? Let's run it again. This should succeed. And we will take a look into the log at what kind of, like, with what parameters the RPM lint was called. So we want to go into no, we want to go here, right? And open log.txt. By the way, let's use Emacs. The reason why I was always using Vim is that I have a bug in my Emacs config that sometimes my email client in my Emacs pops into that buffer that we have like opened here, and I didn't want to leak my email, but I think it was a bug that is now fixed. So I want to see. So let's start using like Emacs client instead of Vim in these scenarios, and we will see. Maybe we will have to revert back to Vim. Okay, so let's jump here. Now, if we search for RPM lint, it is mentioned probably many times, but can we find this one? Okay, so the clipboard is not how I expected it to be. Anyway, running RPM lint with, and there are no parameters. There are no parameters. Read file. So here is an output. Can we jump to this? Okay, so we probably really didn't use any parameters, and it basically complained that we didn't use any parameters. So what if we basically if we take if we create this environment file, right? If we create this environment file, so it would be probably here, right? .env, and somewhere which I just lost is this one. So it wants RPM files somewhere in some directory. I guess we can create a directory. So we have, for example, RPM build RPMs directory, like this one, with some files. But I would rather RPM lint is fast, so we could call it on this directory. And you know what, we are going to do that. So home, let's use full path to avoid any possible confusions here. So we created the env file, specified the path. What happens if we run now? I have no idea. Hopefully it will read the env file. Hopefully it will have access to those files, to those RPMs, and hopefully it will run the RPM lint on them. Okay, this passed, which is cool. Now, what was the... Okay, it was this one. Oops, comes log. So, log. Now, running. Again, no parameters. So, this sucks. What if we avoid using the env file and do just stupidly this and export it? So we can now RPM files like this. It has some path. So what if we do the execution now? Hopefully this will be better. I don't, if it works, I don't mind specifying it on the command line because like I'm not a frequent contributor to the project. Like this is just fine for me. Maybe it would be different if we were working on a daily basis there, but it doesn't seem to help either way. Are we at the correct file? No, it was incorrect. Okay. It was supposed to be 10. Excuse me. So cliffhanger still. Now we will look for it. Still doesn't work. Okay. This is kind of unexpected at this point. So let's take a look at run rpmlint again. So check this out, right? RPM files, the default is this one, right? So if we can even go here, import OS, and use the exact command, it will return the value. So I think the problem is we are actually inside of that container because plants rpmlint main here provision how container, and this is the container. So I think the environment variable is being looked for inside of that container, and therefore defining it on our host doesn't work. I think this is the time where we should take a look at the README. Plants rpmlint, maybe. Here are the options. So spec file detected from dist-git. Sure, but we are running it locally, so we cannot detect it. RPM files. Downloaded all RPM files from Kojitask or Copper, I guess. Can be wildcard. Will we make our life easier? rpmlint rc file. Sure. Toml file. Will we make our life easier if we create this and put the RPMs there? So mkdir, this will of course fail. Mkdir p, and we can sudo mkdir this. So I'm not sure if this one is expected to be on the host or if this one is expected to be in the container, but we can definitely try. So what if we copy a file from here? So for example, this one into this one, this will fail. So with root, and if we run the test again, tmt plants, no idea if that that var share file was meant to be on my host or not, if it is even being looked for, but it's, I think, a reasonable guess to try and see. So what was our plan? Number, this one, and log.txt, and the same kind of, yeah, it's still running without any parameters. Okay. I'm starting to be a little pissed off. If we scroll a little bit higher, is there any... Yeah, we are running this without any parameters. So okay, back here, do they mention any env file? They don't. See the options section. Yeah, we see it. What now? I'm not happy with the pace of our progression. There is basically no reason why AI could help us, I think. But we can try. So we can try agent shell, start a new one, Claude. Yo. I kind of don't think it will be helpful in this scenario, but let's see, maybe it will prove us wrong. So what is the thing that is our problem? So we are running this. I'm running this, but it doesn't. Let's see the log. I don't want the clipboards. Shit. And in the log, I can see this is incorrect too. It's weird because I think. Oh no. No. See, I'm copying this and pasting it here. It doesn't work, which is weird because we are in the same Emacs instance. Why is the thing not shared? Right. So can I at least somehow? Yeah. Okay. Cool. This sucked, but whatever. And in the log I can see which is weird. How can I pass any RPM files there? I'm very curious. The issue is that when you run locally, neither the prepare step is enabled by default. Looking at is only enabled. These prepare steps are responsible for downloading RPMs and setting the environment. Without them, has no RPMs to work with. To run it locally, you need to provide environment variables yourself. Don't say. So you would run something like this. You don't say. We did exactly that, didn't we? Or if you want to simulate one of the CI environments, you can pass the appropriate context. So I don't want to simulate it, I think. Yeah, that doesn't actually help me though. We have to export I already did. Didn't help. The problem is on line 22 in RPM lint. 22, okay. Let's append that. Just the directory path as one argument. This might actually work, but there are issues likely it doesn't. Into the test gas. Yep. You need to, okay. Okay. This path needs to be accessible inside the guest. You may also need to make sure the files are available there, since the plan your local path won't exist inside of it. Yeah, of course. So what can we do about that? This shouldn't do anything either, right? Out log.txt search. Okay, we passed that shit. Does not exist. Cool. This is expected. The thing is, how the hell the RPM lint succeeded when this failed? But doesn't really matter. So good job, Claude. This does exactly what I wanted, but I still need to mount the directory inside the container. I hope there is some parameter to that as well. tmt run -e plans provision image. Yep, this one. No, I'm not sure about this. You are not sure. No, I don't know. I don't want to give you any permissions. Sorry. So let's take a look if we can see help. Verbose -v is a verbose. Name run. So are you going to tell me I can put provision here and do stuff? Really? Really? Verbose? No, verbose is not. So we can try this exact command, but I think it will not work. No such command. Yeah. Okay, so this is nonsense. This doesn't do it. This is dash dash help. Yeah, you can do it. How help you can do that? There's no volume mount. Yeah, we figured that out. The simple workaround is to provision locally? Really? So, really? Will this break our system or what happens? I have no idea, but I'm willing to try. So, plans, name, RPM lint provision, how local? Let's do that. Step failed. Requires feeling safe. What the hell is that? Feeling safe. Warning. With this option, TMT would be allowed to make potentially dangerous actions. For example, some metadata keys may cause scripts being executed on runner, or unless, you know, yeah, I am not really feeling safe though. I'm not feeling that safe. Plan, FMF plan. So you are telling me that in my FMF plan, where I cannot mount a directory. Let me check. Yeah, better check that. TMT help. Yep. Undefined. What the hell are you trying to do? TMT test management. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we are trying to fetch some documentation which doesn't exist, of course. Nice. We are trying to fetch some documentation, that's fine. Okay. How many? Oh, this doesn't look reasonable either. Okay. Unfortunately, does not support volume mount. There is no option. Your options for running local use virtual machine. copy the RPMs into the test working directory. So automatically as a part. Okay. What directory? I must say the question what are we doing and allowing is not so clear. I don't like it very much. The agent shell is awesome. I love it. It's a great tool. But the question is not that cool. Provides directories inside the guest, but those are during test run. So for a use case, realistic options are use a prepare step that copies okay, so simulate packet copper context, simulate Fedora CI Koji task ID. So can we do this instead? Right. Maybe if we somehow simulate a Koji task, then it will download the results of that Koji task. That would be good. So the only thing that we need to do is to specify our Koji task here, and that's it. Would that work? That would be awesome. Koji. Oh, flashbang. Sorry, I was so trying with the dark mode. Let's do some package that we know. So, for example, Copper CLI. Copper CLI. Let's do it for the Fedora 43. This is a build ID. We really need a Koji task ID, right? Which is a bit different, which is this one, task ID. So what if we put the task ID here and press enter? Will this download the stuff for us? If yes, that would be awesome. By the way, I'm slowly running out of time. I will need to run in half an hour tops, but rather sooner. So hopefully we can get moving at least. So log.txt running with, oh yes. This looks good. This looks really good. If we go to this file, did it find the RPMs or only the spec file? I don't know, actually. I don't know if there are any RPMs in there or not. But it definitely ran. It definitely ran the RPM length. So yeah, big win here. Big win. Cool. So we have our reproducer. Thank you, Claude. So this is how we can how we can work on our fedora-review feature, because we basically have the reproducer and we can create our plan, which would be fedora-review, and we can basically make it behave exactly like this, exactly like our RPM lint. So let's do that. I will go here and plans, and we will use right side RPM lint as a reference, and we will work here tests. No, here plans, and we will create a new directory, fedora-review. I don't know if dashes are allowed. If not, we will need to rename it. But fedora-review, we need readme .md. We will do, they do just RPM lint. We will do fedora-review like this, and we will do to do here and continue. Now main fmf main fmf, and we will do something like this: run fedora-review on all RPMs and spec file. Description equivalent to Zul job running RPM lint. You know what? We will put maybe this as a description. I know it's not that cool, but for the moment I think it's good enough. See this discussion for more. I think this is a to-do basically, but for good for now. Now tests fedora-review, right? So what we need to do is move to tests and create fedora-review, and here we need to move to tests RPM lint as a reference. So we again need main fmf, which we will basically borrow from here, and prepare dist-git environment. We will keep this exactly the same. We will keep this exactly the same, and here it will be run fedora-review, run fedora-review. Description requires having some environment variables predefined. See documentation of the run RPM lint script, run fedora-review script, probably requires fedora-review. And hopefully no other dependencies. And what we are going to run is a fedora-review script. Now we have this one, we have this one. I think these two needs to be duplicated here. What does RPM inspect do? It doesn't have the, oh yeah, okay, I'm not reading this. So you know what, we are going to cd tests fedora-review, and we are going to ln-s, so we are going to create a symlink. And I never remember the order of parameters, but I think it is from, so from where, which is RPM lint. It is called copper prepare, and we are going to link it here. If we ls, we now have copper prepare, and if we get it, yeah, it prints. So yeah, we have a symlink. You can see it even in Emacs. We have a symlink here which points to the file, so we don't have to duplicate it. Maybe we will have to, but for now I think a better for us, it would be better for us if we can symlink it. Now the same needs to be done for dist git prepare. So copy prepare dist git prepare. Now we have two files. You can see, yeah, we have two files, and we need to write our run fedora-review.py, and we will take this one as a reference. I don't know what dependencies should be specified here. I don't care. I don't like them. They will be gone. Now we will use the exact same arc parser, right? I am not going to do any magic here. The only thing I'm going to change is Fedora review, and instead, basically this is what we need to change. Fedora review, and if we take a look at our action that we were proposing previously, where is the action? Where is it? This action. So it somehow specifies the parameters. So action, this action. If we scroll down to the Fedora review, this we will need to set this probably. Name. So this is the no, like this it builds actually the package. If we do Fedora review, it has an option to run from a directory, so it can use oh no, local files in the current dir, or when using rpm spec, use name as path to srp. Like, this doesn't make absolutely no sense. So in the current dir, or when using --rpm spec, use name as a path to a source rpm. Like, what the hell? I have no clue what this is. But you know what? We are going to ignore the files for a second, and we are going to actually use a build ID, a bug ID, and we will build it ourselves as a first step. Then we will use the actual existing RPMs. So we will do Fedora review first, but we will use a -b. I'm going to comment this. We will use -b and the number of some Bugzilla ticket that we can run the review from. And I have a testing ticket for a very long time that I use for the Fedora review service, so we will use that exact bug ID. This one, I guess. No, this is staging, so this is a production one, and this is its ID. So when we run this, I'm hoping it will work. Now we need to, of course, do a different plan name because we have Fedora review now. And basically it is like a insane mess of stuff. We are running this on a Koshi task ID. It should download the results from that Koshi task ID, but then completely ignore them and run fedora-review on a hard-coded bug ticket, which is this one, which should download, which should download the results from this ticket and results, the spec file and source RPM from this ticket, build the RPMs from it and run fedora-review on it. So it's like a complete nonsense of a task. But if it works, we can actually like improve this call to pass the source RPMs or RPMs or spec files or whatever we want. We can pass to this. So it would be a good first step. Now, this was too fast. There is no way this worked fine. I think the problem that we are going to see is that this wasn't configured. So if we open this and the log.txt, now running fedora-review, so what do we see here? Check this out, we were right, no mock group. That's it, right? No mock group, check, true. Yeah, that was the one. Cool. So can we specify the -e like this and specify that this is supposed to be true? So yeah, true. No mock group check. So let's run this again. Of course, this will need to, I don't know if of course, but I think this should be hard-coded into the test so that user doesn't have to pass it actually on the command line. Anyway, we are running out of time very quickly. I'm going to let this run because I am curious to see the result. I'm going to take a bathroom break, then we will check the result and then we are done. Okay, this finished too quickly. I couldn't even finish peeing in the time, so yeah, this still cannot work. There is no way. Let's take a look at the result. What was the file? Log.txt. Running fedora-review with, yeah, this is the arguments, but we don't use the arguments, if you remember. So there is actually we don't actually see the execution, but test invocation, and there is exception down the road. Namespace unshare failed. So I think the problem that we are seeing is that we are running the test inside of a container, and fedora-review probably has problems running inside of a container. And the possible reason is that we are building we open a container, we run fedora-review in it. Fedora-review finds out it needs to build the package, so it spawns mock, and mock inside runs a container, and that's a container inside of a container, and it is possible that is a problem. I think I've seen some recent development in Podman that allows this, but it is possible it is not production yet. I have no idea, like this in this container reception, how does it work and what's the current state, because I don't need it so often. So the possible solution to this will be just not building the stuff, but passing the actual RPMs there, and that should be easy for us because we can see our arguments here. So we can somehow pass this to the fedora-review and just figure out the correct parameters, and maybe it will pass. We will see. I need to run now. That experiment will be done in the following video. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoy this little project of ours, and see you next time. Bye bye.